Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with Crystals Off the Board with Pineapple Papers Hop. So this time I went with a pin from Scrapbook.com that I saw on Pinterest from Kelly Barron using Felicity Jane goodies. So this page is gorgeous. I really love how fresh and simple, but like all these little details that she crammed into all the little areas. And of course, I really wanted to use some more Felicity Jane that I had. So first thing I did was pull out this little bit of trim that Lisa had sent me. I'd been hoarding it and hoarding it and hoarding it to use with Felicity Jane just because it's so pretty and it screamed Felicity Jane to me. And when I saw Kelly's original layout where she had some trim going across her page, I was like, aha, yes, this is the page. I'm getting this trim used up. It's happening. So I'm just going to piece together the 12 by 12 really quick with a few scraps. I'm doing this floral that you guys have seen a couple of times on the top, and then I just did this really soft pink and white polka dot on the bottom. And then I'm just going to, I know the trim is going to go in the middle. I wasn't quite sure what paper would go with it. I thought at first about doing the solid yellow, but it's just a little bit too bold because I'm trying to keep this like light and airy, kind of how Kelly did on her layout. So I went with this branding strip, which is still yellow, but it's kind of a two-tone stripe. I just thought it looked a little softer. So that's what's going to go along the middle. This trim is, I think, 8 inches, or maybe it was 10 inches, but not 12 inches. So it couldn't span the entire page. So I strategically just made sure that my photo area that was going to go across this seam is going to cover up the gap. So it worked out perfectly. So I'm just going to get the trim and this branding strip down so I have the background done, and then I can work on my photo layers. So this is lunchtime when we did the rainforest tour in Maui. So this was along the road to Hana. We did a rainforest tour. It was a lot of fun. We saw lots of waterfalls. I think we were in the rainforest for like 4 hours. So when we got to one of the, I think this was the second to last waterfall we saw, it was gorgeous. It had this huge cave up underneath that you can walk into and a pond that you could like swim in front of the waterfall, and it was just super pretty. So that's where we decided to eat lunch. Our rainforest tour packed lunches for us, so that was nice. We kind of just got to eat with the waterfall in the middle of the rainforest, and it was really, really nice. So I wanted to make sure I documented that. So it's just a picture of me holding up my sandwich in front of the waterfall and the pool with the cave behind the waterfall. So that's all the photo is. I was trying to be artsy fartsy. Don't know if it worked, but it documented the moment. So, hey, it works. I'm just going to do a really skinny border with this black and white stripe and then mat it on the solid yellow. I'm really trying to copy Kelly's layers almost exactly. I really liked what she worked with on that Pinterest pin. So I'm really trying to stay pretty close to it, at least until I get these main layers down. I embellished differently just because I had different embellishments to work with. This is the Gina paper collection, and then I do pull in some Heidi collection ephemera and the little tassel things. Yeah, they're really cute. You'll see them in a minute. But I'm just taking a few scraps that I had, some of the B-sides of the papers I already had cut up to finish off these little layery bits, and then I will glue that down right there where it is. Got the doily exactly how she had it. So I really like how it's turning out. It's a really simple layout, but it's so pretty, and that's something that a lot of the Felicity Jane people on the design team have mastered. Is this more, it's not even minimalist. I mean, they can do minimalism really, really well, but they maximize the blank space without it looking bare. And I think that is such a hard line to walk and something I struggle with because I have such a compulsion to fill in the gaps. And I'm trying to get better, which is why I really liked using this one as my inspiration for today. That way I'm like, I have a guideline, just copy what she did. She did a great job, so as long as I do the same thing she did, it'll work out. So it's okay. And here I go pulling out the Heidi die cuts. You guys, I finished this page. I've been using all these other ephemera and stuff from the other collections because I didn't think I had any of the Gina ephemera. So I was like, well, I'll just use the paper and then I'll pull things from other collections. No, I finished this layout and realized I had 3 packs of different things from the Gina collection that I haven't been using with the paper. I was so mad at myself. I do end up I have the Gina tassel bows, the Gina chipboard hearts, and the Gina puffy stickers. I'm so mad at myself because I've been sitting here using this collection without the coordinating bits and pieces. Ugh. So I go back at the end and end up adding one of the tassel bows. I just wanted to mention that before I forget. But I'm still working with the Heidi stuff. And you see there, I pulled out my Hannah collection that I used for How to Kill a Kit with Style January. I've been hoarding it. It's been sitting with my Felicity Jane stuff because even though I used almost all of it, I can't throw away these little bits and pieces. So I do pull in one of the labels from the Hannah collection in that little cluster on the bottom right. Yeah, I'm just putting things together. You can see where I'm putting those two tassels. I'm going to stitch those to the page really quick, but I'm just pairing a yellow and a white one together and just staggering them. I think that looks really cute. I don't have the Heidi paper, but I did get a few of the Heidi bits and pieces, which is why I've been trying to use it with the Gina paper because I thought I only had the paper and no ephemera, but nope. But yes, I like this 100% original. It was the same size and kind of did the same things that Kelly's, like the little bubble she had on hers. She also has some hearts and a bow in that cluster, so that's kind of what I end up doing. But yeah, I'm going to get the banner area down on the bottom with that little label. And I like how that looks. I just like bringing the colors that are on the top of the page down to the bottom. That way it's kind of balanced. And there's that little Hannah tag I got used up, so I'm happy I pulled in some more Hannah. And then I sped this bit up a lot, but I am just going to stitch these tassels down to the pages really quick. There we go. Sorry, I have the windows open, so if you hear birds and cars and stuff, sorry. We finally have fall weather in Georgia, so I've been taking full advantage and have had the windows open, so sorry if there's background noise. So I got the bottom cluster stitched down, so I'm going to do the top cluster really quick. And you're going to hear the neighbor's AC unit. Sorry if you can hear that. Okay, there we go. I think I'm done. Yeah. Where did I go? Okay. And then I thought the tassels would be enough, but I ended up wanting to do something else, another little thing. And I have all these little hexagons, so I was like, I kind of want to do them like enamel dots, but I didn't know if they competed with the tassels. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyways. They need to get used up. So, and I just felt like the tassels by itself were too bare, but then these were kind of too much. But I was like, you know what, we're doing it. We need to get them used up. I think it ends up adding a cool touch. I didn't like them scattered in 3 spots how I had them, but I ended up mushing them together because they're hexagons and making a little, like, you'll see what I'm doing now. I'm pushing all the hexagons together so they're all touching, so it kind of reads as one piece, and I think that looks cool. So I do it that way, and I think that's a happy medium for what I was without using them and then having them scattered. So I'm going to glue them together really quick. It's really finicky because they're small pieces, but I wanted to make sure they all laid correctly and glued them together before I actually stuck them down to the page. But I think that's a cool little touch. I mean, it reminds me of like bees and stuff, and we're out in the rainforest where there's, you know, plants, whatever, it works. So I'm going to do that with all 3 clusters. And I'm glad I got some of those hexagons used up because there's a whole lot of those little hexagon things that come in the Heidi ephemera that I haven't really been using. So I'm glad to get a couple of them on the page. And I just did 1 black, 1 yellow, and 1 light pink just because those colors are already in this layout. So I thought they coordinated really well. So I think I'm on my last one. What do I do after this? I know I end up pulling. I went to Tuesday mornings and got the thickers called Wander, and they're really cute glossy puffy stickers that are black and white. So yeah, I thought they would be really, really good for my Hawaii vacation. So I did just pull in a few things from that you'll see in a minute. I love epoxy puffy stickers. They're just like, so there's something about them. I just want to like squish them. But yes, I do. It's Felicity Jane. I can't help myself. I can't. I have to stitch. So I did just do a simple row of back stitching along the bottom of that yellow branding strip, and then along the bottom solid yellow banner, just to bring some stitching into a few areas. I really thought the thread was relevant because I have these tassels, and I just felt like it brought that texture and the tassels are made out of thread, so stitching with thread just kind of brings that into another area. And I just like white stitching on Felicity Jane is just magical. I don't know. So I just did a back stitch there, and then you'll see me do the back stitch along the bottom yellow banner. Those are those stickers I was talking about. So I do just pull in a couple hearts around the 100% original. Kelly had some hearts in that cluster as well, and I am all about the hearts. It also had a little black palm tree, so I put that in the upper cluster next to those tassels, and then I pulled in the word trip to the bottom right, just because I felt like that was a great spot for a title. Brought that black into another area, so I kind of have this diagonal thing going. And then I found my bows, so I decided to glue that tassel bow there, and I think that's perfect. It brings in that tassel-y element again. And then I just had to wiggle around the hearts a little bit because the black heart was over the black hexagon and it was messing with me. Anyways, this is the final layout. I had a lot of fun with this one. Kelly Barron is a YouTuber and she's on Instagram. If you don't already follow her, she's very talented, does lots of Felicity Jane and pretty things like this. Make sure you check out everyone else that's doing the hop and tag us if you play along. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.